You're looking for a dryer that will actually work for you, something reliable, easy to live with, and that won't feel like a waste of money the moment you load the first load. Most of us have been burned by machines that promise a mountain of cycles and then end up taking forever to dry a single shirt, or that sit on a wobble-prone floor and shake the whole laundry room. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video, I'm going to walk through why the Speed Queen DC5003WE might be the right fit for a certain slice of households, and why it could be a miss for others. First off, let's talk about why buying a dryer feels like a gamble. Unlike a TV or a smartphone, a dryer is a workhorse you can't really try before you buy. You're stuck with the installation setup of your home, the size of your laundry space, the type of venting you have, and the amount of laundry you actually do each week. If the machine doesn't match those constraints, you'll end up paying for a product that's either too big, too small, or just awkward to use. That's why I always start a review by picturing the everyday scenario: a family of 4 juggling school uniforms, sports gear, and a few work shirts, versus a single professional who does a couple of loads a week. The Speed Queen DC5003WE lands squarely in the middle of that spectrum. The DC5003WE is a 27-inch wide electric dryer with a 7 cubic foot drum. In practical terms, that means you can toss a full king-size comforter or a couple of loads of towels without having to stop and rearrange the items. For a household that does laundry 3 to 4 times a week, that capacity translates into fewer cycles and, ultimately, less electricity use per pound of clothing. The drum itself is made from a galvanized steel cylinder, which is a bit of an old-school choice, but one that tends to hold up well against the constant spine and tumble. You won't see a lot of plastic components that can crack over time, and the metal construction gives the dryer a solid feel right from the moment you close the door. Now, the reversible door is a small feature that can make a big difference in cramped laundry rooms. If you have a narrow hallway or a stackable setup where the dryer sits next to a washer, you can flip the door to open on either side. That eliminates the need to shuffle the machine around just to make room for a door swing. I've seen a lot of people struggle with door clearance when they're stuck with a fixed direction dryer, so this flexibility is actually a practical win. The 220 CFM exhaust fan is another point that gets mentioned in the specs, but let's translate that into everyday language. CFM cubic feet per minute measures how quickly the dryer can pull humid air out of the drum and push it through the vent. A higher number means faster drying times, especially if your vent is a bit longer than usual. In a typical 20-foot vent run, that airflow should keep the drying cycle from dragging on, which is something many users complain about with low-power units. I've run a couple of test loads with a bulky quilt, and the dryer finished in about 55 minutes, which is respectable for a machine in this price range. So, who should consider buying the Speed Queen? First, families or shared living situations where you consistently need that 7 cubic foot space. If you often wash blankets, comforters, or multiple loads of towels, the extra drum room will shave off a few cycles each week. Second, anyone who has a laundry layout that requires a door to swing either left or right, those built-in closets, narrow hallways, or stacked washer-dryer combos will benefit from the reversible door. Finally, people who value a sturdy, metal drum over the newer plastic tubs will appreciate the long-term durability angle. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to walk away. If you live alone, do just a couple of loads a week, and have a smaller laundry area, the 7-cuffed drum might feel oversized, and you could be paying for space you never use. The unit is an electric dryer, so if your home runs on gas or you're looking to cut down on energy costs, you'll want to compare the operating cost with a gas model. Also, Speed Queen's design is fairly straightforward. There's no fancy moisture sensor or smart Wi-Fi connectivity. If you're after an app that tells you when the cycle is done, or a sensor that automatically adjusts time based on load dampness, you'll have to look elsewhere. Lastly, the dryer's size and weight mean it's not the easiest to move if you ever need to relocate it. The reversible door helps with installation, but you'll still need a few strong people to lift it into place. Let's talk about the everyday strengths that actually matter after you bring the dryer home. The first thing you notice is the low vibration operation. The galvanized drum, combined with the heavy,